FM 95.7 FM, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Welcome to Live Mike with Mike Romai, presented by Heritage Valley Health System, the show that talks about what's happening in Beaver County, along with news and weather with Curtis Walsh, and sports with Matt Durzik. And now, here is the host of the show, Mike Romai.
And welcome to our 8 o'clock hour. Get your books out, get your book bags out. You know, one of the problems with education is that it just costs so much to be an educator. There are teachers all over the Commonwealth who struggle every year to get supplies for their classrooms, and it just doesn't seem to be ever enough. Taxpayers don't want to pay more taxes. School boards don't want to put more money into what is needed in the classroom. So a lot of times the educators, the teachers' assistants are forced to go out to the local stores and buy supplies for their classrooms. And as you can imagine, that can get quite expensive. So there's an interesting concept going on this weekend on Saturday. It's at Lincoln Learning Solutions. It's the Great Book Giveaway. And joining us to tell us more about it is Kathy Cerminara. Kathy, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. To be here.
It's so good to see you. This is your first time on radio, right?
It is, yes.
Are you anxious about it?
Slightly nervous, but here for a good cause and really excited to spread the word.
So we'll just have a conversation.
Yeah.
You tell me about all the good things that are happening over there, because when I read this on our community bulletin board, I thought, wow, this is a remarkable program. The Great Book Giveaway, Saturday, March 25th from 9 a.m. until noon. Tell us about it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it is going to be a great event. We're very excited. We have over 1,000 of elementary school books. We're here to really support the educators of the area. These educators, childcare workers, really anybody who works with kids. We found ourselves with a surplus of elementary school books, and we thought, what better way to get those books in the hands of the people who need them most, our teachers, our educators, and our childcare workers. So what we're doing is we're going to have all the books out, and your teachers and childcare workers can come to Midland, the 518 Railroad Avenue in Midland, to kind of shop for some books for their classroom and their students.
I was just in Midland not long ago, and this is right at the beginning of town on the left-hand side?
Correct, yes. So it's going to have big tables out with all the books on display.
Is that in front of the former Crucible Steel building?
I believe so, yes.
And railroad tracks run through there. That's why it's called Railroad Avenue.
You're right, you're right.
All right. So you got all these books. Now, if this is successful, which we hope it is, are you sure you're going to have enough books for all the people that will want to come?
Oh my gosh, there are plenty of books. There's books for all ages for the elementary school level. We also have some additional supplies that teachers could also use in their classroom as well. So it's sure to be a great event, enough for everyone. And we really, really just want to get these books in the hands of those educators so that we can increase literacy in the community.
Yeah, so tell me, who is this open to? Elementary school teachers?
Elementary school teachers is really going to be who this is going to focus with most. A lot of the content that we have on site is for our elementary school teachers, but childcare workers, a lot of books there that focus on, those social, emotional learning skills, like be a buddy and not a bully. So there's a lot of things that a childcare worker could use in their daycare. So, pediatricians as well. I know they have some book supplies at their office. As long as you bring your professional IDs, and also don't forget to bring bags and boxes so you can carry your books back.
Be a buddy, not a bully. Can we get a copy of that here at the radio station?
Absolutely.
I think we might need something like that. Yeah. And so it says bring your work ID.
Correct. Yeah, we just want to make sure that, again, these books are getting into the hands of the professionals who are going to use them in their classrooms or in their workspace and share them with the children that they work with.
But childcare, there are a lot of daycares around the area.
Yes.
So they are eligible too?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, they're eligible. They're allowed to come. Again, those books will be wonderful for those little story time readings that they have at their daycare centers. Vibrant pictures in these books. A lot of the books also, too, were written by some of our staff members and educators and curriculum writers. So you'll see a wide variety of texts available.
Child psychologist, child therapist, pediatricians.
Exactly. Yes. Again, anybody who can get that book into the hands of a young person, we would be greatly appreciated.
And first come, first serve.
First come, first serve. Yes. The event starts at 9 a.m., so arrive early. I'm sure there'll be some donuts and coffee available for you just to, peruse and shop around. Again, make sure you bring those bags.
Okay. So this is going to be like a layout, and you walk down the aisles and fill book bags?
Fill book bags, fill boxes. There's multiple copies of these books as well. So, you might want to take one or two of a copy, so that you have some for a little library in your classroom.
Have you been doing this for a few years, or is this the first?
This is the first one. So we're very excited about this opportunity to serve the community and to really give back.
Are these brand new books?
Brand new books.
Brand new books.
Fresh off the press.
Oh,
Yes.
they smell like new books.
They
Just
do.
like that new car smell,
Just like
new
the new
book
car
smell.
Exactly.
Wow, that's
so
crazy. Classroom supplies. What are we talking about?
we're talking about, paints and pencils and, math, things that they can use in the math classroom.
Flashcards.
Flashcards. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of cool supplies for your classroom.
Now, I can only imagine there are some parents and grandparents out there say, what about me? I don't have a work ID.
Well, again, we want to focus more on the educators. As you mentioned at the beginning, a lot of these educators are paying out of pocket for their classroom materials. So we really want to make sure that this can get into the hands of the educators. And, then again, this will be used by those students in the classroom as well.
Elementary. So we're talking about a specific age
We're
here.
talking about like early kindergarten, so about 4 or 5, all the way up to 5th grade. We do have some 5th grade chapter books that would be good for kind of that upper elementary student as well. So,
Interesting. I have a very good friend who works in the warehouse.
Yes.
At Lincoln Learning Solutions. His name's Ray.
Okay.
And I know that from talking to him over the years, he fills the trucks and takes them out and about. So these are all the ones he didn't have to lift in the warehouse?
But you know what? I'm sure he helped us kind of pull them all out. So the warehouse team has been a tremendous support in kind of helping us organize all this, because it took a big effort from the whole organization at Lincoln Learning Solutions to really pull this off. So we have our teachers there, we have our sales team there, we have our warehouse team. So really it's a collaborative effort to make sure that these books get in the hands of who needs them
How
most.
does Lincoln Learning Solutions get the books? Because I thought that was all kind of computerized, digital type learning.
Oh, great question. So Lincoln Learning Solutions is a nonprofit organization. We specialize in early kindergarten through 12th grade online curriculum. However, what sets us apart is that our curriculum also has those tangible learning moments for the students. So, the students not just solely on the computer the whole time. They step away, they kind of work on different projects. Maybe they're reading their books, working in workbooks, practicing with their flashcards. So it's a variety, multimodal way to learn. So it's not just the learn on the computer and that's it.
Yeah, like I guess these are up-to-date books as well. They're not going to be the old golden readers that we used to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very popular themes that are modern and relevant for that modern student.
Yeah. And so I'm just trying to think. I have a kindergartner.
Oh, yeah.
There was a grandchild who's a kindergartner. So I'm trying to think of the different kind of books that they read.
Oh, my goodness. So, at that age, they're definitely focused on books that have, pictures that bring that story to life. For our young readers, that really captures their attention is to have, illustrations that bring the story to life, good themes that kind of focus on aspects that they can apply to their daily lives. As they get older, you're going to see the content shifts a little bit more. There's going to be more chapter books involved. You might get into a leveled reader that kind of helps the student kind of progress in their reading journey.
So there's not going to be, people show up between 9 and noon on Saturday, March 25th, at Lincoln Learning Solutions. It's not going to be like, okay, you're only limited to, you can only get 15 books.
Nope. You know what? It really is kind of first come, first serve. And you can get, the books that are going to be well for your classroom, So we're not going to put a limit on it. We're just excited really to share this abundance that we have right now.
And do you have categories where when people go in, they're not going to have to root around like at Rogers, Ohio?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's well organized. Books are kind of curated already by titles, and then we'll also by levels. So you'll be able to kind of peruse and find the right book for your classroom.
Daycare, preschool,
Absolutely.
kindergarten.
Like, so the early readers will be in one section and kind of the levels will progress up.
Yeah. Do people, educators over the years, and I know this is collaboration,
Yeah.
trying to, put the private and the public together and do well for the entire community. Do educators say, well, these are the kind of books that we really need?
Absolutely. And so the nice thing is a lot of these books are part of the Pennsylvania curriculum as well. So you're going to see that they align very well with those standards that are taught within the classroom. And so I think our classroom teachers are really going to find some value in that as well.
Hmm. And you must bring your work ID.
Yes, make sure you bring that ID. We really just want to make sure, again, these books are getting into the hands of the ones who need it most. Make sure you bring your bags and your boxes.
Hmm. And bring your own bag. And you keep saying that.
I know, I just don't want anyone to forget.
You know what? I don't bring the like the plastic bags you get at the thrift store or anything, because they're going to break through.
Absolutely.
You put 5 books in there, and you're going to get a hole in it. You're going to end up carrying it.
You're going to have a heavy haul, so you want to make sure that you bring something sturdy. And again, don't forget that work ID. And we're really just excited to share this with the community.
What if somebody brings a U-Haul truck?
A U-Haul truck. Well,
I'm exaggerating that.
Yes.
Just a
Well,
little
you never know.
You don't. You say free. You
Yes.
say something's free. Somebody's going to show up with a big
Yes.
truck and say, fill it up.
Hey, as long as it kind of increases literacy with those who they work with, we're excited about that part.
Kathy Cerminara is with us from Lincoln Learning Solutions. And how long have you been with Lincoln
So
Learning?
I've been with Lincoln Learning for over 15 years.
Whoa!
I know.
I thought you just graduated from college.
Time goes by so fast, but it has been a fabulous organization to work with. I am an educator at heart. And so now I'm just kind of working in our solution specialist area.
Well, as we know, if we've been around here long enough, Lincoln Learning Solutions, Lincoln Performing Arts School,
Yes.
all that stuff revitalized the Midland area and to put it on the map once again.
Absolutely. Beautiful story and a great organization to work for.
Yeah, okay. And you work with Rick Orienza?
I don't.
You don't?
Yes.
Okay. Because he's in contact with us all the
Okay.
time. We just had some of the directors and co-directors on from the Shout musical
Oh,
that they're putting
awesome.
on.
Yes,
out
yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah. So we're in touch, and a lot of great
awesome.
things happening there. This is just one of them, and it's something that is open to all local educators, child care providers, child development specialists, child psychologists, child therapists, and pediatricians. So if you know any of those people, tell them about this
Run
event.
them down. Yes.
Are people going to start forming a line? Do you know whether to expect that? You say you open the doors at 9, and like in garage sales and yard sales, there are always those early birds.
There are going to be the early birds.
They're going to show up at 7:30.
Our team is arriving early, so we will be prepared
Oh,
for
is that right?
yes.
Okay. And coffee and donuts.
Coffee and donuts, definitely. That's how we get through that morning.
What are the good coffee shops down in
Oh,
in
goodness.
Midland? Donut shops right over here. Have you been in Beaver Falls?
Oh,
before?
yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
good. You might have to order some.
The
Yeah, you
Orms,
gonna stop at
yes.
Orms? Okay. You might want-
Legendary.
Yeah, and they're open Saturday. You might want to order some ahead of time.
Mhm.
Have Frank deliver them. First come, first serve. What else do we need to know about this event?
I think really just, again, we hope that this event is going to promote literacy within the community.
That's the important
That is the important thing.
Yeah.
When you get good books into the hands of children and they're able to kind of open up and experience a whole new world, it's super exciting. So to be able to provide that to those educators so that they can make that experience for those students, really that's why we're here.
Yeah, and as you could probably tell, I went to school long before the digital age, where you were able to do this stuff on your computer from all across the country. And so people have asked, and I've been in this business for 30 years, and people say, "Well, what did you take in school that taught you how to do that? What did you benefit from?" And I said, aside from the fact that I could sit in a room and talk to myself, that without anybody answering or without knowing that anybody's out there, you just ramble on.
Yeah.
But the main thing was reading. You said literacy.
Yes.
So there wasn't a whole lot of other classes that took place during my educational pursuit that prepared me for this kind of business, aside from reading and to be able to read. So when you talk about literacy, that's so important.
It is. It's so important. It's going to really help the student and develop in so many different ways. It's not just really to enjoy a good story is fantastic, but again, it's a transferable skill that will help them in whatever career path or path they want to take in life. It's exciting to hear that you say that literacy is helping you in your work right now, and you could see how transferable that is.
And in terms of child development, early child development, parents oftentimes don't know when should my child start to read.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really going to be on that journey of the individual child. And I've seen, some children, very young age, be able to kind of read the book. But it's also just hearing the story too. So, even if you have an emerging reader, somebody who's just starting to learn some of those words, the parent, the child care provider, the teacher can read those stories, and the student is still going to get that same type of that knowledge and that understanding of a text. And so I think it's important too, even for our younger students who aren't able to actually read the words on the page, but to sit with the parent, to sit with that adult so they can read that story. They're still going to gain all of that information, and they're going to gain that love for reading as well.
Yeah. I got a 2-year-old
Yeah.
grandchild now that's into a garbage truck, trash truck.
Yes.
So you can see the pictures of the trash truck, and you go, like
Exactly.
trash truck does.
It's how they learn.
Yeah.
It's just all those little, hearing that language, hearing the vocabulary that child is going to learn.
Yeah, and in terms of pulling this all together and coming to Lincoln Learning Solutions on Saturday at Lincoln Learning Warehouse on Railroad Avenue. Great book giveaway Saturday from noon until 12 p.m. Will they learn? Because everybody's always looking for the best education for their children.
Yes.
Where can my child get the best education? Maybe they're not learning well in a classroom setting and they need something else. During this time, will people be able to get some information about it?
Absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned that. So yes, we will have our team there really to kind of answer any questions. Let's say a parent has a question about online education or what the content and curriculum that Lincoln can provide. We'll have staff on site really to kind of discuss that, even just discuss any sort of options just for additional learning or any sort of supplemental learning. We have the experts there on site that would help, navigate that.
And this is going to help educators to not break their budgets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any support that we can provide to educators. I was in the classroom for about 5 years prior to my work here, and I know that feeling of just, spending your paycheck on what you can use in your classroom. So we hope that is just a relief for some of these teachers.
The schools aren't providing it for them, or the textbooks are old and things like that.
Or you
They're
want
dated.
something special for your classroom.
Yeah. Flashcards and classroom supplies. Once again, what are classroom supplies?
So that would be anything that a student might use. So paints and markers, different types of papers and scissors, all those things that,
construction paper, scissors, all that kind of stuff.
That really kind of go very quickly in a classroom, especially in an elementary classroom.
Yeah. Okay. Nobody's allowed to eat the glue.
No one can eat the glue. You're right.
Right. Very good. Kathy Cerminara is from Lincoln Learning Solutions. And once again, it's this Saturday. It's the great book giveaway, and you got thousands and thousands of books.
Thousands, really. We helped take them off the shelf along with the warehouse team.
So whatever your occupation is in education, don't forget to bring your work ID and bring your own bag or box, which is very important. You got those reusable bags. Bring 5 or 10 of them, fill them up, take them to your car, go back in, fill more up.
Absolutely.
First come, first serve.
Correct, yes.
Okay. I don't know that having a phone number or anything like that would benefit, but they can go on our website, obviously, to our community bulletin board and find out the information, and probably Lincoln Learning Solutions as well.
Absolutely. Lincoln Learning is on all the social media platforms, so feel free to follow us there. You can also visit us at our website, lincolnlearningsolutions.org. And, we are very excited to kind of meet with the community this weekend.
And we're excited about it as well. And thank you so much for helping the educators in our community.
Absolutely. And thank you for this time. It's been wonderful.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. Lincoln Learning Solutions, great book giveaway this Saturday, March 25th from 9 a.m. until noon.
Whatever you need, wherever you need us. With 3 hospitals, 7 medical neighborhoods, and many community satellite facilities, Heritage Valley Health System has your medical needs covered. Heritage Valley has a long-standing reputation for providing the finest health care in our service area. For a full listing of our services and physicians, please visit heritagevalley.org. When you need first-rate health care, there's a Heritage Valley facility nearby. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the Best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com. Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning. We can expect increasing clouds today with a high near 56 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after this look at news. The Shapiro administration announced plans to maintain a long-term physical presence in Darlington Township to continue assisting residents impacted by the Norfolk Southern train derailment. Starting on Thursday, March 23rd, staff from the Pennsylvania Departments of Agriculture, Environmental Protection, and Health will be on site at the Darlington Township building at 3590 Darlington Road every Thursday from noon to 5 p.m. to meet with residents. Additional staff will be available via video conferencing during that time as well. In addition, state agencies are working with township staff to ensure they can help residents access state resources related to the derailment. Staff from Commonwealth agencies and Beaver County also plan to hold open house events Thursday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. to offer one-on-one discussion to individuals who attend, as well as provide resources and information. Sandy Giordano reports Center Township engineer Ned Mitrovich reported to the supervisors at Monday night's meeting that bids for 2 projects will go out in late spring or early summer 2023. And Recreation Chairman Lisa Mastro-Francesco reported to the supervisors that the annual Easter egg hunt will be held Saturday, April 1st at 1 p.m. at the Central Valley High School. The shortage of educators and school staffers has reached a crisis level in some public schools. An education advocacy group is making recommendations to fix that. Danielle Smith has the details.
Pennsylvania serves more than 1.7 million students in grades K through 12. Rich Askey, president of the Pennsylvania State Education Association, says they plan to unveil a state legislative package that focuses on several key priorities to solve the school staffing crisis, including a boost in teacher salaries. Right now, some teachers average about $27,000 a year to start, and the plan calls for money to attract more candidates.
First, to set the annual minimum salaries for educators, school counselors, nurses, and other educational professionals at $60,000. And also, we want to look at a minimum wage for custodians, cafeteria workers, paraprofessionals, and other support staff at $20 per hour.
Askey adds there has been a dramatic decline in the number of college graduates entering the teaching profession. Pennsylvania issued more than 12,000 fewer first-year teaching certificates in the 2020-2021 school year than it did in 2012 and 2013, a drop of 66%.
Gas prices are 2 cents lower in Western PA this week at $3.73 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. Despite economic news affecting the stock and oil markets, the national average for a gallon of regular gasoline fell 3 cents over the past week to $3.44. The average price of unleaded self-serve gas here in Beaver County is currently at $3.75. House Republican Policy Committee Chairman Josh Kale will host a hearing entitled Obstacles to Opportunity, PA's Permitting Process, to hear the challenges of Pennsylvania's permit processes and explore possible solutions. That'll take place on Wednesday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. in room 205 of the Ryan Office Building in Harrisburg. Barring any technical difficulties, the hearing will be streamed online at pagoppolicy.com.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
We can expect increasing clouds today with a high near 56 degrees. We'll have mostly cloudy skies tonight, going down to a low of around 38. Slight chance of rain tomorrow with otherwise cloudy skies and a high near 54. Showers with some possible thunderstorms roll in Thursday with a high near 65, and showers are likely Friday as well with a high near 51. On this Tuesday, March 21st of 2023, at 36 after 8, we've got a temperature of 28 degrees with sunshine here in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Matt Durzik with sports.
I'm Matt Durzik, and in sports, congratulations are in order for the Lincoln Park Leopards. The WPIL champion advances to the state finals in Class 4A boys basketball as they defeat Uniontown last night by a final score of 85-64 at Charleroi High in a game you heard right here on Beaver County Radio. The Leopards move on to the final to face a familiar foe in District 12 champion Newman Goretti. That game will be on Thursday night at 8 p.m. from the Giants Center in Hershey. Two other Beaver County teams have a shot at the Giants Center, and their chance comes tonight. In Class 2A boys, it is Aliquippa taking on Otto Eldred out of District 9. That game being played at Clarion University at 6 p.m. The winner goes on to take on either Holy Cross or Lancaster Mennonite, who play tonight at Marks Hall in Pottsville. And on the girls' side in Class 4A, it'll be Blackhawk taking on North Catholic in a rematch of the WPIL Championship game. The winner moves on to Hershey, and that'll be a 6 o'clock airtime, 6:30 tip-off from Newcastle High School tonight here on Beaver County Radio. The winner will play either Lansdale Catholic or Scranton Prep, who play tonight in Allentown in the other semifinal at 7 p.m. in Class 4A girls. On the diamond yesterday, the Pittsburgh Pirates with enough offense to take care of the Little Green Monster in Fort Myers. Joe Block has further details on the Buccos' victory against the Red Sox.
On Monday in Fort Myers, the Pirates beat the Boston Red Sox 7-5 using their bats. Kanan Smith and Jigba with 3 hits, including separate run-scoring hits in the first and fifth innings for the Pirates. It was Rodolfo Castro scoring a pair of runs and stealing a base. Jack Sawinski ripped a triple. Miguel Andujar, a 2-run home run over the Green Monster at Little Fenway. Travis Swaggerty continued his strong spring with an RBI single and a stolen base. Kevin Plawecki added a couple of hits. You get the picture. And the Pirates wrote some decent pitching as well. Dwayne Underwood Jr. with an inning and a third scoreless. Colin Holderman got a double play ball on the only pitch he threw. Rob Zastryzny and Jose Hernandez with 1, 2, 3 innings out of the Pirates' pen. A complete win for the Bucs, who beat the Red Sox 7-5 on Monday. From Fort Myers, this is Joe Block on your home for Pirates baseball.
The Buccos are back in action today against the Philadelphia Phillies at Lakecomb Park. First pitch is set for 1:05. In high school baseball from yesterday, just 2 scores to report in non-conference action as Freedom dominates Carleton 18-0 and Hopewell wins over Shenango 11-1. On the softball side yesterday in non-conference action, Central Valley defeats Blackhawks 7-2. It was Freedom 7, Carleton 3, and Southside Beaver falls to Western Beaver 16-1. In non-conference baseball today, Central Valley's at South Fayette, Western Beaver hosts New Brighton, Freedom is at Carleton, West Allegany's at Blackhawk, and Cornell hosts Southside Beaver. And in non-conference softball today, Ambridge travels to Beaver Falls, and Elwood City is at Steel Valley. In NHL action from last night, Dylan Ferguson stopped 48 shots in his first NHL start, and the Ottawa Senators topped the reeling Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1. Drake Batherson's power play goal with 2:09 left in regulation helped the Senators end a 5-game losing streak. Thomas Chabot scored his 10th goal for Ottawa, which won in Pittsburgh for the first time since 2014. Ricard Raquel scored his 21st of the season for the Penguins. Tristan Jarry made 19 saves but couldn't stop Pittsburgh from falling behind Florida for the second wild card in the Eastern Conference. The Penguins have now lost 4 in a row. and they look to end the skid on Wednesday night when they take on the Colorado Avalanche in Denver, beginning at 8 p.m. That is sports for now. Time to return to Live Mike with Mike Romai here on Beaver County Radio.
Welcome to Live Mike with Mike Romai, presented by Heritage Valley Health System, the show that talks about what's happening in Beaver County, along with news and weather with Curtis Walsh and sports with Matt Durzik. And now, here is the host of the show, Mike Romai.
And it's about 19 before the end of our broadcast. For today, Eddie Crow comes up with his bag of flying cats at 9 with the Teleform program, and one of Eddie's guests today is going to be Tom Young Consultants. And you know, where are your investments safe? Really, I mean, you put it away for retirement, and then you hear about these banks collapsing again. I said, well, it's not as bad as 2008, but if you have deposits in these banks that have failed recently, obviously you're going to be concerned about it. And people are concerned all over about where their money is safe. There are some people in this listening audience say, I'll tell you where it's safe. It's in a coffee can in the backyard. It's still sewn into the mattress. There are people that just do not and have not ever trusted the banks. And some of that goes back to the Great Depression and the bank runs of those days. So when you think we're secure, and of course deposits are insured by FDIC in certain accounts, and these ones that failed recently, they weren't. And the government steps in, and President Biden steps in and says, don't worry, your deposits are going to be safe. Don't worry. But at some point, do we ask ourselves, you made the decision, right? I mean, we say that all the time. We say it about people who got college educations, took out loans for college educations, and we say, well, no. It was your education. You signed the papers. You're responsible for that debt. Okay, in this case, it's not debt. I know it's apples and oranges. But also, you made a conscious decision. You were going to invest your money in this particular place, in this particular bank, in these particular accounts. And you chose wrong, right? And so now you're expecting the government, big brother, government, big government, liberalism and all that. You're expecting the government to come in and bail you out. You're expecting the taxpayer. Well, Mike, it's not the taxpayers. Taxpayers are not getting the bill for this. Okay. All right. Where's the money coming from? So there are plenty of the people who, during the housing bubble, bought homes way out of their income level. And when the bubble burst, they lost the homes. We couldn't go back to the government and say, well, I didn't really understand. I was getting into this mess. They sold me this bill of goods. They said that, with your income, we can get you into any size car. We can get you into any home. Don't worry about it. There's all kind of money out there for you. And then all of a sudden it went pop, and you lost your homes. People lost homes. There was no government coming in to save you. The government helps big business. Government will come in for big business. And this is what's happening here. But when we talk about the idea of all is fair in capitalism, then what's the difference between some poor soul that loses the house because he bit off more than he could chew, and his income didn't stay same? You got into these mortgages where the interest rates were fluctuating and they were variable, and so when you got in, it was low, and then you get in, and then a couple of years later, it's way over your head, so you're in underwater, and who's there to help you get out of it? Do we be responsible for our decisions, the decisions that we're making in these circumstances, even when it's investing? Are we responsible for the investments that we make? Is it gambling? And you put your chips on the wrong number and it didn't come out and you lost it? Are we dealing with the same thing here. And for to be honest with you, that is one thing that has always kind of scared me, made me nervous about all this talk about Social Security, and let them put it in the stock market. Let them, hey, you know what? You can get and I've had people say this personally, hey, you know what? You can get a higher return if you invest your money in the market than you can with the government. But who's going to protect that when the government goes south, as it does quite often? There are people in this listening audience who put away retirement money, and then the market takes a dive, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average and A&P or S&P and all these other initials, they go down, and so does your investments, and so does your retirement savings. What do you do about that? And so what always kind of concerned me was, yeah, we can get you a better return if you invest your money in the market instead of letting the government hold on to it through Social Security. I've never heard in like 60 years or so that the government told Social Security recipients, I'm sorry, money's not there. The market went down and we can't give you that. They will, and they have at times said, you're not going to get as much of a raise this year. You're not going to, we can't give you as much. You can't give you 8% as Social Security recipients got this year. But there have been years when it said, we're going to struggle to give you 2% of a raise. And people complained about it, truly. And I understand that because they're living on fixed incomes. But the end result is that you're still getting a check. And they're not coming to you and saying, well, it was the market. We couldn't control it. It's the market forces out there. And sorry for your luck, but I don't know. Are you too old to be a Walmart greeter? Can we get you a walker and put you back on the fast food line? There's got to be something. So there are investments, and we make those investments, and many of us are not as clued in on the ins and outs of these investments. We just trust whoever the advisor is. The advisor says, this is where you want to put your money. We're going to split it up. We're going to diversify, and you're going to put some here, and it's going to be safe that way. What happens when it comes time for you to use it, and it had some bad hits along the way? It's not that advisor who's going to go into their pocket and pull out the money that you lost. It's your responsibility. So we look at those problems all the time, and people who are up in age and close to retirement or in retirement look at it more seriously than the rest. It's 12 before 9 at 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Good morning. You're on the live mic.
Good morning.
Hey, Deb, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm blessed in this mess.
All right. Well, very good. Good to hear. You made it to springtime.
Blessed and not stressed, and blessed more than I deserve.
All right. Well,
I'm borrowing the words from my pastor.
Okay. Well, that's very good. We're glad that you made it through winter and are now here to join us in the springtime.
Well, you know what I like to say, spring has sprung.
It has. It certainly has. The flowers will be blooming soon.
Hey, I want to ask you a question. It has nothing to do about baking. Is that okay?
With baking? Oh, banking. Yeah, it's fine.
Banking, not baking.
When banking. I say, well, yeah, I can bank on my baking, that's for sure. But
me too.
Yeah. No, when it's open,
hey,
when the phone lines are open, you can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jog your memory because you're the person that I'm going to ask the question to, since you've lived in Beaver Falls, New Brighton area for a long time.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you remember what year did the train derail in New Brighton?
It was in the early 2000s. I want to say somewhere around 2004, maybe 2004, 2005. It was in that timeline, because I remember going over there in the middle of the night and watching them try and set it up.
Well, I think it was a little bit later. I think it was 2008.
You think so? Okay.
I think it was, because 2004, that's when my dad passed away, and I would have remembered that.
Okay. Well, I got to remember, Deborah, I killed off a lot of brain cells over the years, so my memory might not be as good as yours.
You know what? I'm telling you what, the older we get, I'm telling you what, I'm starting to agree with you about that because, yeah. Well, anyway, not to get off the subject, but the
Sure.
thing is, the reason why I was wondering, me and my friend were talking about that, and maybe I should Google that up actually.
Okay.
Was that a Norfolk Southern train that derailed in New Brighton?
I couldn't begin to think about it. I'll try and do a Google on it while you're talking to see when it happened and what kind of railroad was on there at the time. But
Yeah, was it a chemical or was it just normal cargo?
I don't think it was chemical. I don't remember hearing anything about chemical, but let's see what we got here.
Because
Train.
I'll tell you why. I remember the day after because me and my friend's husband went to a church in New Brighton on that Saturday morning to get angel food. There was an angel food ministry.
Oh, okay.
So we went to go pick up our food that we bought. And I remember saying to him, I said, "What is that smell?" And he said, "Well, that's from the train derailment." I was like, "Oh," and it felt like an eerie feeling that morning. Like it was like real eerie. Like you could tell something happened the day after. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, here, I got the story for you. It occurred in 2006. Okay. It occurred on October 20th, 2006. A freight train derailed off the railroad trestle in New Brighton. The train contained 86 cars of ethanol, of which 24 cars either derailed, were damaged, or were leaking, and several cars fell into the Beaver River. Okay. It was determined that the safest option would be to allow the fire to burn itself out before removal of cars would occur. Okay. So that's what happened October 20th, 2006. And if you have a chance, if you don't have the internet, go to library. You can put that in there, and it'll show you the cars on fire and the cars over the trestle and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I could Google that on my phone.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and you were almost right.
Yeah.
2006. And did it say what train company that was from?
It does not say. Railroad milepost, no, it doesn't say, at least on this site at this point that I have.
Do you think that if Norfolk Southern wouldn't have did what they did, do you think if they would have let that fire burn in East Palestine, do you think it would have been worse or do you think what they did was right?
Well, according to the plan that they had at the time, they felt it was best to do it that way. It was ethanol. And as I look up another story on it while we're talking here, it was Norfolk Southern. Yeah.
Yes, in New Brighton.
Yeah.
And that carried ethanol too.
That carried ethanol. The other one, the one in East Palestine, was carrying vinyl chloride.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But it says
and
that...
we didn't evacuate.
No.
It seemed like it didn't affect us at the time.
No. It said at least 9 of the cars leaked ethanol, also known as grain alcohol, caught fire. Some were still burning Saturday night. And but they felt it was best at the time to just let it burn until they moved, before they moved the cars.
Okay. Well, that answers my question.
Yeah. Cars that remained on the tracks were moved to Norfolk Southern Railroads to help clear the scene. So there you go.
All right, then. All right. Well, thank you so much, and you have a good day.
And now you know the rest of the story. No, thanks for bringing it up because it was important. Yeah, it was an important thing that happened. I remember going there in the middle of the night and watching it. At that time, we didn't think anything of putting masks on to go over there. We just saw the derailment, rushed over and saw some of the fire and then left. So,
I remember some of that smell and the eerie feeling the next morning when I was standing at that one church.
Yeah, we're surrounded by these sort of things, and we're very vulnerable.
I mean, everywhere you go, there's trains. I mean, even where I live. I mean, down the road, there's a train that crosses over the trestle over the bridge.
Well, just last week we had a story. Curtis was telling us about where Norfolk Southern, I guess, runs the rails through Koppel, where I live, and you go across those tracks all the time to get from one part of Arthur Street to the other. never thinking, because every once in a while maybe a train goes slowly through that area. I always thought it was a feeder track to the mill down there and to the scrapyard. But I guess Norfolk Southern, and they were doing some emergency work on the rails there. I didn't know that was Norfolk Southern.
And they're also going to put the rails through to go to the cracker plant.
Yeah, we're just oblivious. We don't know about these things happening around us.
Right.
Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
Deborah.
Well, you have a good day.
You too. Thank you. It's 5 before, coming up on 4 before 9. Eddie Crow's coming up after the news at the top of the hour with Teleform, and his special guest is Tom Young, talking about finances.
Recently, Tom Young from First Consultants, Inc. in Beaver shared a note that he received in the mail from a happy client.
Just a note to thank you for helping us feel secure financially during this awful time. The market hasn't affected us at all, and our assets are all secure. So at least the current economy isn't causing us to lose any sleep. Stay well, Tom. Regards, John and Sandy. This is what I mean when I talk about and say guaranteed income. Guaranteed income, even in the market that we have right now. It is so important not to lose money.
Visit firstconsultantsinc.com or be a part of Tom's live presentation starting at 9 a.m. on the third Tuesday of each month on Beaver County Radio and Facebook Live. All advisory services are offered through PL Wealth, LLC. PL Wealth is a federally registered investment advisor. PL Wealth is no way affiliated with First Consultants, Inc., nor is First Consultants, Inc. a registered investment advisor.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
It is a reason to rejoice. It's the first full day of spring. We're expecting increasing clouds with a high near 56 today. Cloudy overnight with a low of 38. A slight chance of rain on Wednesday with a high near 54, and more showers and thunderstorms coming up Thursday afternoon with a high of 65. It's 31 degrees in Beaver County at 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Kutch is back with the Bucks, and Beaver County Radio is back for our 75th season of spring training baseball. Set your radio dial to WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM or 95.7 FM, and listen to Pirates baseball all spring as Andrew McCutcheon prepares for his triumphant return to the Bucks. Pirates spring training baseball is presented locally by the St. Barnabas Health System and Beaver County Radio, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
He's got room and 5 touchdowns. You better believe it.
Join Beaver County Radio, Roberts Roadside Inn, and Skurlick Contracting for a tribute to a legend on Wednesday night, April the 5th from 7 to 9 p.m. as we pay tribute to our friend and Beaver County broadcasting legend Bob Berkman on the patio at Roberts Roadside Inn, where Bob hosted the Coach's Corner for over 30 years. Bob Berkman's partner for many years, Tom Hayes, will return to Beaver County Radio to host this special Coach's Corner tribute to Bob. Beaver County Radio will have live coverage starting at 7 p.m. on Beaver County Radio and beavercountyradio.com. You can also watch the show streaming live on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Joining the team to help us celebrate are Electric Garage Door Sales, McGee Heating and Cooling, the Community College of Beaver County, Gazette the Optometric, Fry Transportation, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Suman Automotive, and Beaver County Radio.
That is going to be a special night to honor a very special guy. I've never run across anyone who has had a bad thing to say about Bob Berkman, and all saddened by his passing late last year, and we will honor him coming up, and I hope that you look forward to that broadcast and maybe even joining us in person. Coming up in person is Eddie Crow. He hosts Teleform, and he has financial consultant Tom Young on the program to lead off Teleform. Then he'll be talking with talk about concussions on the program. So that should be interesting as well. Always something to talk about and always something to learn from on the Teleform program. Tomorrow morning on Live Mike, we're going to be speaking with those folks from Tri-State Neuropathy and see if Mary is going to dance into the studio. Have a good day. Enjoy the first full day of spring.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Former President Trump could soon face criminal charges in New York's hush money payment investigation. Here's White House correspondent Greg Cluxton.
Prosecutors have not said when their work might conclude or when charges could come, but law enforcement in New York has been making preparations for any unrest should Trump face charges. Many Republicans are denouncing the probe as politically motivated, and the GOP-led House is demanding documents and testimony from the Manhattan District Attorney.